Welcome back to the channel. In our previous video, we completed the metal roofing, and now we're moving on to preparations and installation of the radiant heat flooring.
We originally hadn't planned on putting in-floor radiant heat in, but a few months ago we changed our mind, and so I needed to take the grade down about 4 more inches. If our barn grade wasn't already decided and the post set and the ceiling determined and all that, we'd have went ahead and just come in with our stone and just raised the building a little bit and then just backfilled around the sides. Wouldn't hurt a thing, but since all the posts are set and the roof's at the height that we want it, we just had to go down a little bit. So it took a little bit of effort, but we got it done. They require you to have insulation around the edge of the building, and it actually either needs to go down a couple of feet into the ground, like around a foundation of a basement or a footer. And in this case, we just put a piece of insulation on the board, and then the floor is covered. So as long as you either go 2 feet down or 2 feet in, you'd want to check your local codes, but I think that's pretty standard about everywhere. Well, that's got it. Jeff and his guys from J&W Plumbing came out and did the rough end. They did a really nice job. I supervised a little bit and watched, and man, they really got in here and got it done. They got it all done in about a day and a half, I guess. Within 2 days it was inspected and holding there and the whole shebang, so I was real happy with the way that went. So now we'll get a little stone down in here and I'll rake it out pretty uniform, and we'll compact it, put our plastic down, and start putting our insulation down for our in-floor heating. So now we just need to double check depth and make sure that we've got it where we want it. We're going to have about 5.5 inches in the garage and about 7 in the house part. Basically that's just for the heat sink of the in-floor heating, keep the house a little more consistent.
So we're out here this morning pretty early. We needed to be here by 6 o'clock. Because the delivery truck driver needs to be in Florida by 5:30 today. So we're out here offloading these panels for the flooring, and Dave already took a load back, and I'm just here waiting on him to get back so we can load up the second batch, the last round.
We had the driver meet us in town so that he didn't have to try to get that big road truck down our lane or driveway. It just would have been impossible. Once he got back in here, I think he'd been able to turn around okay, but man, it's a tight squeeze. We've had big trucks down here before, and it just wasn't worth the risk. No, let's go and put it beside it.
Okay. In front or beside?
Beside.
In front.
Beside.
That's beside. That's in front.
No, that's beside. That's in front, that's in back. That's on the other side. I know why you and I have problems from time to time. We don't see the world the same way. Where do you want to put this one?
Wherever you go.
Let's lay it flat on top of those two. On its side. Like we did the others. So, good? Yep. Let's lay the next one on top of that one. Okay. We seem to have a lot of problems with chores like this because one of us is left-handed and one of us is not. Okay.
Well, it's a good thing that we own this compactor because we've sure gotten our use out of it. Dave's back at it, compacting the gravel down.
We had kind of shied away from doing in-floor heat just due to really didn't see an insulating product that we liked until we found this, and that's what changed our mind. It recesses the pipe down into it so that you don't have to worry about like a pump truck hose damaging it, people walking on it. This product actually has a vapor barrier built into it. As you can see, we're not really utilizing that to its full. We went ahead and put down a vapor barrier anyway.
One issue that we're always battling is the wind, so we're laying these out to keep the visqueen down. And wanted to mention that one of the features that we really liked about this product is the way that the panels interlock. And so when you put them together and put them down, there's no chance that they're going to slip and slide around on you. So it's a really nice feature about the product, as well as the mushroom nubs that keep the tubing in place.
As you can see, there's some areas that we're leaving little voids, strips out of the insulation, and the pipe won't go across those voids because that's where walls will be, and that just makes it a little easier to anchor the walls down when we get ready for that.
So we'd move the foam boards out to prep the gravel and compact it and put the visqueen down. And so Dave was bringing the bundles in and opening them and supplying those while I laid the foam boards down, and so it seemed to work out pretty well that way. There's quite a bit of cutting involved to be able to get the pieces in the right spots and fill in all the gaps, and so we had to cut quite a few pieces.
We're figuring out the best way to cut is with a keyhole saw with a wood blade or a sawzall. You could probably use about anything, but we found that worked really well and was easy to handle. We had allowed ourselves about 4 days to put all the insulation down and plastic, get all the pipe in, and it ran us a little tight. We had about a day and a half of just torrential rain. It was just miserable. So we didn't get much done that day anyway. But it wasn't too bad, and it goes pretty smooth, but it does take some time. I use these T-posts to temporarily hold the board that holds the manifold in while I set all this up. And when the time comes, then I'll cut these T-posts off, and this will be built into the wall. As you can see, I'm kind of mocking up for the second manifold, trying to decide how I want to put it in. That'll be something we'll add in later for the upstairs. Rigging up something to feed the pipe off of so that it doesn't get all tangled up and twisted. You can buy a metal one through the manufacturer, but I'm only going to be using it for a day. This is not going to be a new career. We ran all our tubing about 1.5 feet apart. There's all sorts of resources for figuring out, layouts of rooms and this and that, or you could just be a rebel and put it in how you want it in, and which is kind of what we did, because I knew what I wanted as far as zones go, and we ended up with about 1 linear foot of pipe for every square foot of floor. So that's kind of where it fell for us. This is one of those jobs that really 2 people is about ideal. If you had to do all this by yourself, man, it'd be kind of a pain in the butt. I should say that if you were doing a garage or small room, something 40 by 40, it wouldn't be too bad by yourself, but this is such a big building that it really very helpful to have 2 people.
Dave's really good at being able to calculate how many feet we've got left to go to get back to the manifold.
So we're down to the end of the tubing installation, and now I'm just got to put the manifold in and hook up all the pipes, and I'll put a pressure gauge on it, air it up to about 20 pounds, and make sure it doesn't leak off. Yeah, I was trying to think for something a little lighter you could do.
Oh, that's all right. It's got to be done, so just tell me kind of how you want it to go.
Well, what I'm thinking is well, I got to fix that corner yet, so leave one off there, but let's go all around the perimeter.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll put a few in randomly. And I thought here where we've got these breaks, in here, we'd lay some on each side of the breaks.
Okay.
I think just keeping the wind from catching it maybe.
Yeah.
But that's about it, I think, for now.
So the whole perimeter?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about 30 boards, so I'll try to help you as quick as I can here.
That's all right. Thankfully, everything tested out and we have no leaks, and so we can call this a project complete.
Once you get it all done, then you can go back in and put your metal expansion joint in any places that you want to right before you're pouring, and then once you pour, then you make the rest of your cuts. We'll put some links down in the description. If you have any trouble reaching out to the companies and you have any questions, please feel free to send us a comment and we'll try to help you out.
Thank you for tuning in again, and coming up next will be our concrete pour. We hope that you have subscribed already, but if you haven't, don't forget to click the button.